Okay, you can start whenever you want.
Okay, Kausar, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. So everything we do today will be done seated in the chair. And for those of you who may be participating for the first time, I think you might be surprised, delighted, happy to know and experience that we can do a lot from a yogic perspective seated in our chair. And so this is a gentle yoga practice, and I often like to share that really the new advanced yoga is a gentle yoga practice. As always, an invitation to begin by finding a comfortable So if it's available to you and you would like, find a space where you're supporting your own spine. So you might come forward enough so that you feel you're sitting forward on your sits bones. And then when you're ready, an invitation to take your beautiful hands to your heart center. So it might be palms open, maybe palms together. And so if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. And so we never forfeit balance to come into a pose. And then as ready, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. Setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga practice for the duration. So any concerns or worries for the duration of the class, knowing that you can come back to that after class. Then as ready, relax your arms by your side, turn your palms face up, and then shake your hands vigorously. So shaking your hands vigorously doesn't feel comfortable. If it hurts, just move your hands more gently. And we'll reach up to the sky. So saying good day to our ancestors, or reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And then coming forward a little. So good day to our ancestors. So reaching up one more time. And then just like you're shaking water off your hands, lay your arms so down by your side. And so Charlie, the rooster in the back 40 is saying hello. And so of course we are practicing from our home. And the wonderful gift of yoga is that literally, and in many other ways, which I'll speak to as we go along, yoga meets us right where we are. So you might have animals, children, etc., partners. So as much as possible, setting an intention to have a space where hopefully you don't have too many distractions. And yeah, so that said, let's repose. So an invitation to soften your gaze. So your gaze might move downwards. Ground down through your sits bones. So maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft. Spine is long. Shoulders back and down. Relax your arms by your side, whoever feels most comfortable for you. Lift up through the crown of your head. So you might imagine you have a thread on the crown of your head and it's pulling you up to the sky. Our chin is level with the floor, tucked in slightly. So from here, let's transition into a practice of mindful movement. So not, we're mindful. So when you're ready, reach your arm up to the sky. So reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. So 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up to the sky. And slowly float your arm down. So let's explore this time linking our breath with our movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side. Rest your hands on your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And we'll begin this gentle movement on the other side. So as ready, reach your arm up to the sky. And slowly float your arm down. So 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up to the sky. Slowly float your arm down. So I like to think of these gentle movements as a moving meditation. This time on an inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side. This time, let's reach both arms up to the sky. Take a look between your palms if it doesn't create tension in your neck, and notice if they're facing each other. And so it's not about forcing one limb to do what the other is doing. We just want them talking to each other. Fold your fingers in, press into the palms of your hands. There's a marma point, a sensitive point in the palms of our hands, and together we can shout out, I am. You're all on mute, so I can't hear you. I can. And I will. And with a sigh of relief, float your arms down. And so let's reach our arms up one more time, reaching up to the sky. And with a big sigh of relief or ha sound, woohoo, it's yoga time. And so let's repose. So spine is long. I'd like to invite you now to push down through one foot and then push down through your other foot. And so it might be an energetic pushing down. Maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. And from here, we'll transition into a gentle movement to help release the tension in our neck. And so we'll move through all the major joints today, hopefully letting go of some of that stiffness that a lot of us feel in our bodies, especially in the morning, the early hours of the day. And so when you're ready, bring your chin gently towards your chest. And then look up. So your gaze maybe turns towards where the ceiling meets the wall. So gentle movement, moving your chin up and down. And as ready, bring your head back to neutral. Drop your ear towards your shoulder. And then moving from side to side. Bring your head back to neutral. Turn your gaze looking just past your shoulder. Pause and then visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. So imagination is powerful. Move your head back through center. Turn your gaze towards your opposite shoulder. Pause, visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. As ready, bring your head back to neutral. And so we've moved our cervical spine through its range of motion. And so now let's move down along our spine. And so we'll come into a practice called cat and cow. So as ready, drawing your hands in towards your hips, arch your back. So lift your heart, your throat. On exhale, sliding your hands towards your knees, round your back. As you round your back, draw your belly in towards your spine. And so on inhale, arch. So our spine looks like a smile. On exhale, round. And so in your own time and rhythm for a few more breaths, keeping this gentle warm up for our spine flowing. And so move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that your movements and breath become one. As ready, come back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment to notice how's your breath. So our old friend, our breath. And so moving on, I'd like to invite you to reach towards the earth, the floor. Moving from side to side. So hold on to the side of your chair if you're a wheelchair user, maybe onto your wheel. And so maybe inhaling to one side, exhale to the opposite side. If it works for you, you might imagine that you're between two panes of glass. And so shoulder stacked over shoulder. And slowly as ready, come on back to neutral spine. Rest your hands on your lap. And from here, we'll transition into a gentle twist. So twisting from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We are not going into our full range of motion. You might notice that our hands naturally slide into towards our hips. So this movement of our hands can help increase our proprioceptive awareness. So knowing where our body is in relation to space. And slowly as ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side, rest your hands on your lap. And so rest your hands, palms face up or palms face down, as desired. Maybe take a moment to notice which feels better for you, resting your palms face up, or does it feel better to rest your palms face down? So if you are feeling restless, scattered, palms face down can encourage a grounding sensation. If you are feeling tired, an invitation to explore resting your palms face up, open to receive. And then as ready, an invitation to tap your fingers. And so a brain game might explore tapping from your pinky to your thumbs. I see some smiles out there. So I'm thinking smiles are contagious, but so an invitation to see if you can create like a little Buddha smile, a little half smile. So when we smile, it releases saliva. So we want a nice juicy mouth and juicy body. You all know what it's like to go to the dentist. We'll be doing that in the morning. And then maybe air piano. So motion is lotion. We're getting that synovial fluid flowing into all the little joints in our hands. Turn your palms face up, and then an invitation to bring your fingertips to touch your thumbs. So they might touch, they might not. So we focus on what we can do and stretch. Fingertips to your thumbs and stretch. And now an invitation to stretch your palms, make tight fists and draw your elbows back. Stretch your palms, tight fists, draw your elbows back. So you might feel your shoulder blades moving towards each other. So imagine a little pea between your shoulder blades. You want a mushy pea. And stretch. And one last time. So release, relax your arms by your side, take a moment, and we'll come into movement to help get the synovial fluid into our elbow joints. So it's ready, turn your palms face forward, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. Spiral your palms forward, bend your elbows, palms face away, and so now I want you to reach your arms up and imagine you're driving a motorcycle. So flex and extend. I have share a little ice cream kiosk with my husband at the pier and in front of the ocean, and motorbikes showed up last night and they were roaring away. Some young lads and then an older couple. And then float your arms down. So rest your hands on your lap, and I'd like to invite you to circle one wrist in one direction and then reverse a direction. And then switch sides. So you might notice that one wrist is tighter than the other. So as human beings, we tend to be tighter on one side. So then as ready, arms by your side, palms face up. Soft bend in your elbows, nothing rigid. Take your hands to your shoulders or wherever you can reach comfortably. And then I want you to imagine you're drawing circles with your elbow points on the screen in front of you. So remember your little Buddha smile. Smile whether you're happy or not. And then reverse the direction. So take a pause anytime you'd like, or on my count, or cue, I should say. I'm not really a number person. And then palms face down, release. And a little shake up. So take a rest. And notice how you feel. So it is not about what we look like in our yoga practice. The diagnostic tool is how do I feel? And so no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so let's repose. So make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, so the earth. So ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. So we want to keep our connection with the natural world, Mother Earth, however you want to phrase that. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft. Spine is long. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. So imagine that thread, if you like, on the crown of your head, pulling you up to the sky. And so from here, I'd like to transition into a practice to help strengthen our lungs. And we'll go from there to a practice called sun breath, a meditation on the heart. And so your hands resting, palms face up on your thighs. Invitation to tuck your chin in slightly. On inhale, take your hands up to your forehead. Open up your armpits. So we're stretching our lungs vertically. And then as ready, float your arms down, bowing your head towards your heart. So we'll practice this gentle movement 2 more times, reaching up. On an inhale, hands on your forehead, open up your armpits. So lots of lymph nodes in our armpits. On exhale, bowing your head towards your heart, let your hands slow down to your thighs. Inhale is ready. Take your hands up to your forehead, open up your armpits, stretching your lungs. On exhale, float your arms down. And so when you're ready, an invitation to take your hands into prayer pose at your heart center. And so if this position of your hands works for you, lovely. Alternatively, you might place your hands on your Buddha belly. And so as ready, send your arms up and away. And so arms are as high or low as feels comfortable for you. So I feel comfortable today with my arms about level with my shoulders. And then making soft fists, draw your hands back to your heart center or your Buddha belly. And so an invitation to keep this gentle heart opener flowing in your own time and rhythm. And so if you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. And on your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. And this time, on your exhale, if you'd like, making a humming sound like a bumblebee. Inhale. So you might notice that the bumblebee sound lengthens our exhale. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to maybe feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And shake it up and out again. Woohoo. So a little more vigorous this time. We'll do a little bum dance. And so let's see, where shall we go from here? So I like to think of the yoga poses, the yoga props that we use in a yoga class as yoga toys, really, not yoga tools. And I wish I remembered so that I could give credit to the brilliant fellow who suggested that we not use the word that he shared that he doesn't use the word tools. He uses the word toys instead of tools because the word tools, the implication is that we're broken and we need fixing. And that's not the school I come from. And so, yeah, let's arms by our side, palms face up, reach up to the sky. Fold your fingers in, press into the palms of your hands, or maybe if it's okay to place your hands on the back of your head. So today I'm going to fold my fingers in. And this time we can shout out, we are, we can, and we will. And with this sigh of relief, float your arms down. And so an invitation to reach your hand across to your shoulder, maybe taking it up just below your ear, and then tap down to your shoulder. So I have a microphone attached, so hopefully it stays attached. I'm not hitting it. And then when you're ready, reach back, give yourself a pat on the back. And then tap down along your arm. So if the tapping feels a little too intense, we have, from a yoga perspective, we have an energetic body as well as our physical body. So it might be that you massage lightly and then turn your palm face up and tap up. And let's switch sides. So reach across, maybe up to just below your ear, tap down to your shoulder. Reach back, give yourself a pat on the back. And then tapping down along your arm. We're massaging. Turn your palm face up, tap up. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to take your hands to your scalp. And this is a little bit of Indian head massage. So I traveled all the way to India to learn this, so you don't have to. So if you have a yoga buddy that you can practice with, this is a lovely gift to share. And so we always set an intention of loving kindness. Or you could imagine that I'm massaging your scalp. And then when you're ready, smooth your hair. And then an invitation to take your fingertips to the outside corners of your eyebrows. And if you're wearing glasses and you're okay with removing them, that might be helpful. And then tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap underneath your collarbones. Reach across to your armpits. So if you're wearing a bra, about halfway down your bra. And we'll repeat this a few more times. So tap the outside corners of your eyebrows. So is your belly soft? Is your breath quiet? Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap underneath your collarbones. Reach across to your armpit. And let's do one more round. So outside corners of your eyebrows. Inside corners. Underneath your nose. Dust nose. Chin. Under your collarbones. And your armpit. And take a moment and rest. Notice how you feel. So if you ever feel dizziness, nausea in your yoga practice, come out of the pose or the movement, particularly when we're doing neck movements. If you experience dizziness, might be something going on that you need to get checked out. In regards to pain, pain care, and pain management, there's a lot of research that's been done in recent years, and some new information, wonderful information has come to the fore. And so I'd like to invite you to notice if you're feeling discomfort, pain, to notice if it is a muscle soreness. Might be a muscle soreness. So sometimes we move into places we've forgotten we have places when we're doing our yoga practice. And so is it a muscle soreness or is the pain in your joints? And so if the pain is in your joints, that's not okay. And so come out of the pose of the movement. And it might be that you move into it a little more gently or slowly. Maybe backing off helps, or it might be that we find another pose or a movement. So from our huge toy box. So you always come back to your breath. So when we focus on our breath, we're practicing yoga. And so I don't want to be a talking head. So let's shift our weight from side to side. So you might pull the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. And feet are placed firmly on the earth. So in your footrest, the floor. Our belly is soft, spine is long, shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. And so when you're ready, arms by your side, palms face up. Reach your arms up in line with your shoulders or wherever feels comfortable for you. Palms face down. So maybe notice which feels better for you. Palms face up, or does it feel better to have palms face down? So you can have your arms as high or low as feels comfortable for you. And so an invitation to explore your palms face up. And we're going to do a little Egyptian dance here. So I'd like you to turn one palm face down, leaving your other palm face up. Turn your gaze towards the palm that is face up. And then switch sides, like a little Egyptian dance. Opposite hand. So my friend Michael called this the King Tut movement. So special request for this little dance move today. And I know there are a few dancers in the class. I think we're all dancers, actually. So we dance to our own rhythm. And palms face up, palms face down, float your arms down. Woohoo. And shake it out. So feel your work. Take a moment, feel your work. Notice how it's your breath. Notice any subtle sensations. Trust that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. So I'm just going to check the time. Okay. Well, so repose. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your rests, foot plates, sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long, shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head, tuck your chin in slightly. So you might take 2 fingers to your chin. That works for you. Imagine a turtle. So I'm a turtle. And release. And so let's come into a practice to help find our balance. And so the best definition I've heard of balance thus far is the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. Presence, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. Pardon me. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, in my youth and even into my mid to late 20s and various times in my life, I wanted to get out of my body. Rarely knew where my feet were. And so now it's feet on the ground, and our yoga practice helps us to be more, afraid to be embodied, in our body. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to, if you know that balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. We're going to be rocking forward and back gently. If possible, bring your feet so that they're a little wider than outer hip bone distance. Knees are tracking over our ankles. It's okay to have your toes turned out slightly. Draw your hands, bring your hands in towards the creases. Maybe soft fists if you have wrist stuff going on. Maybe taking hold of the underside of your chair. And so on inhale, lengthen your spine so we can create space between our vertebrae. And then leading with the heart, come forward a little. So it is not about seeing how far we can go. We just come to that just right amount of effort and ease. And then pushing down through your inner heels. It might be an energetic pushing down. Come on back up. So an invitation to keep this gentle movement flowing in your own time and rhythm for a few more breaths, or as long as feels comfortable. And so it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements. And slowly come on back to neutral spine. Bring your feet back so that they're about hip distance apart. So a little trick might be fist distance between your knees. Then take a moment. Notice how's your breath. Notice any subtle sensation. And so from here, let's come into movement that I like to call stirring the pot. That said, an invitation to circle your heart forward and then circle back. And so this movement can feel a little strange if you're not accustomed to it. So move in your own time and rhythm. And so you might notice if you make smaller circles, so we're working our core more than if we were to make larger circles, which gets into our lower back and our hips a little more. And so as you begin to feel your lower back and your hips soften and release, see if you can go a little deeper. Of course, we're not bringing our shoulders all the way down to our knees. And then as ready, reverse the direction. Remember your little Buddha smile. And so bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. bring your awareness to the space above you, and especially an invitation to bring your awareness to the space behind you, and an invitation to trust that you are being supported. And so again, I like to think in terms of we trust that we're being supported. And slowly come on back to your neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side. And then rest your hands on your lap, palm up or down as desired. So our Buddha belly is soft, breath is quiet. And so let's come into a few more movements in the spine. So of course we know our spines matter. So make sure that you're sitting comfortably, effortlessly upright. And so I did bring a few yoga props. I have yoga props, which I've acquired through years as a yoga therapist. So if you happen to have blocks, these are hard blocks, block placed inner thigh, and maybe a tie or yoga strap, something that you can use to keep the block there. Helps to keep our knees approximately hip distance apart. And I have a friend that has a plinth, or is it a plinth? I forget what it's called, but anyways, it's a little thing that keeps her knees hip distance apart. She is a wheelchair user. And I like to have sometimes a block between my feet. So this is a foam block. I just covered it with some material, or had it covered. And so make sure that you're comfortable, sitting effortlessly upright. And so invitation to take hold of the underside of your chair. Release your opposite arm by your side, turn your palm face up. And so from here, we're going to come into a side bend. So an invitation to maybe take your hand up to your shoulder. So if you have shoulder stuff going on, this might feel good. Alternatively, you might feel okay reaching your arm up and over. So if either one of those positions doesn't feel particularly good, another alternative might be to place your hand on your hip. So today I'm going to place my hand on my shoulder. So whatever placement you have for your arm, I'd like to invite you to come into your side bend and then turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck. And breathe into your rib cage. So can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? Slowly come out of the pose on this side. Take a moment and we'll come into it on the other side. So it's ready. Take hold of the underside of your chair, your wheel, wherever feels stable for you. Release your opposite arm by your side. Spiral your palm open. Maybe taking your hand to your shoulder. Maybe it feels good to reach up and over. Maybe the placement is on your head for your hand. Come into your side bend and then turn your gaze down towards the earth, down towards the floor. Keep your sits bones on the chair, particularly the one you're moving away from. So if you're in a wheelchair, you might place your arm on your armrest, or maybe you have a chair beside you. That might work. And slowly come out of the pose on this side. Oof. And take a rest. Let your belly soften. Let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so from here, let's come into a seated twist. And so if possible, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. Knees are tracking over ankles. And so if your knees are rotating inwards, you might want to take a little wider stride. Okay. So inhale, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, reach your hand across to the outside of your knee or thigh. Your other hand beside you. Terrible. And so there are a few contraindications to go deeper with a twist. So the contraindications would be if you have a spinal, if you have osteopenia, osteoarthritis. This is your pose today. You don't want to go any deeper than this. Alternatively, if you'd like, you can visualize. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, begin at the base of your spine, moving up. And our head turns last. And so eyes are closed softly, focused inward. Or soften your gaze. And slowly unwind, come back to neutral spine, take a moment. We'll come into the twist on the other side. So we'll inhale, lengthen spine, exhale. Hand reaches across the outside of your knee or thigh. Your other hand comes beside you on the chair behind you. So this might be your pose today. So you can tell we're already into the twist. And so honoring if this is your twist today, or if you'd like to come a little deeper, inhale, lengthen, and then twist. So see if you can resist resist the temptation to turn your head to its full range of motion. Soft Buddha belly, quiet breath. And slowly unwind. Back center. And so let's rock and roll. Inhale, reach up to the sky, and then move into the twist. Inhale, reaching up, and twist. One more time, reaching up to the sky, and twist. So come on back to neutral spine when you're ready. Relax your arms by your side, spiral your palms open, reach up to the sky. And then palms together down through to the heart if you like. So arms, palms face up, reach up and out. So imagine the radiant light of that sun all around you. And then maybe bring our hands into prayer like you'd imagine a waterfall. Bowing our head towards our heart. And so one more time. Spiral your palms open. Imagine that beautiful sunlight all around you. Gathering that in. And then if you'd like, maybe taking your hands into prayer down through your heart. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other in your heart center. And maybe notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And so we have a few more moments. So I would like to invite you to come into a practice called sun salutations. So sun salutations are heating and strengthening, and they're fun. So this is a lovely version in the chair. And so my job is to hopefully make you fall in love with yoga. So hopefully it's fun. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't be here. So there we go. So make sure that you're Sitting up tall, your feet are firmly planted on the floor, your footrest, wherever you are. Spine is long, shoulders back and down. So come into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. So it could be palms open or palms together. Reach up to the sky, so gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So take hold of the underside of your chair, maybe soft fist in your hips. Maybe it feels okay to bring your fingertips down to the earth. So downward facing dog, this version, we're going to place our forearms on our mat. Baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs, lift your heart, your solar plexus. Cat and cow, round your back. As you round your back, slide your hands towards your knees, belly in. One more time, inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral spine. And so we'll come into a warrior pose. And so I'd like you to visualize the movement. If it's not possible to do this next piece, so it would be that you step your foot back underneath your chair with your toes tucked under. And then reach your opposite arm up to the sky if you'd like to add your arm. So warrior pose. Float your arm down. So visualize or imagine, step your foot back so your feet are about hip distance apart. Hinging from the hips, forward fold, palms face forward, reach up into mountain. And maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So I'm going to give an alternative option for downward facing dog this time. So you could do the one we just practiced, or choose to do another one I'm not going to share this time. So come into your mountain pose. So actually notice what happens when we spiral our palms open. So it opens up the eyes of our shoulders. And so the eyes of our shoulders usually are closed or they're squinting because we're so collapsed in our chests, a lot of us, especially by the end of the day. So open up the eyes of your shoulders, mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up into a gentle back bend. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So whatever version of the forward fold you'd like. If it feels better to walk your feet forward a little bit, go for it for stability. So downward facing dog. So you could rest your arms on your forearms on your lap or reach your arms up on a diagonal. So the arms reach up, hands reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Baby cobra, place your hands on your lap, draw your elbows in, lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. Cat and cow, round your back. As you round your back, your hands slide towards your knees. Belly in. On inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral spine. This time, let's come into warrior on the other side. So step your opposite foot back, toes curled under. Reach your arm up if you'd like to add your arm. Warrior pose. Float your arm down. Step your foot back. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Reach up to the sky, mountain pose. And maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. And so we're going to come down off the mountain. And so Come on, seated comfortably back in your chair in preparation for a short guided meditation and your final relaxation. Make sure you have what you need to stay warm. So I always like to have a little blanket or a scarf around. And so it might feel nice to have a little bit of weight on your lap. So that bit of weight can encourage a grounding sensation. Might be a pillow, maybe it's a pet. If you'd like, you can place a yoga mat or something along your spine that you can relax back on. So roll your shoulders back and down just a few times. So not scrunching our shoulder blades together, but allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears. And so I'm wondering, the neighbors are full on with their car, you know, the lawnmowers and so on. Is that distracting or is it okay still? Can I get a thumbs up from somebody? Good, okay. So close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable for you, or soften your gaze. So your gaze might move downwards. Rest your hands on your lap, palm up or down as desired. Soft palms, soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose. Serenity pose. Relax your jaw and clench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Silently, if you'd like, on inhale, say let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. It's challenging to quiet the mind. Placing our hands on our Buddha belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. Without changing anything, bring a gentle awareness back to your breath. Thank your body. Thank your body again. Our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs if you'd like, and come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. And so thank you. Notice how you feel before and after your yoga practice. Questions or feedback, always love to hear from you. Feel free to stick around for a few moments after if you'd like. And so a special thank you to Kassar, my lovely tech host in the background, without whom this could not happen with my
Welcome.
techie challenges. And of course, ConnecTogether and the Disability Foundation for providing this opportunity for us to share what I consider India's gift to the West, yoga, albeit adapted for Westerners. So here we are. You're welcome. I'm going to move in just a little closer so I can actually see the screen more clearly and read what I think someone just wrote something in the chat. So oh, thank you, Donna. She said, I do love it. Thank you both. Aw, there you go, Kassar. Woohoo. Together we can.
You're welcome.
So thank you, Bobbie. Thank you, ConnecTogether.
So just a gentle reminder, if you fall asleep in your yoga practice, it is not rocket science. It means that you are tired. So and a lot of us are tired these days. So yeah, anyway, that's my story for today. Have a wonderful weekend. It is Friday. I'll be down to my little kiosk to scoop some ice cream for the local yokels. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. Emma didn't stay in bed.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you guys
Costa.
next week.